The Uganda Revenue Authority is currently holding a post-budget dialogue, and it's all about talking to us what is happening next. For some of you that might have followed from earlier on NTV, we are joined by the Assistant Commissioner for Public Affairs at the Uganda Revenue Authority, Mr Vincent Seruma. Welcome to NTV at 1.
Thank you very much, Rita.
Now, for those who might have just seen some images earlier or you were following, some may not have, and would want to start off with why is it important to hold such dialogue like post-budget?
Thank you very much, Rita, and our viewers on NTV. First and foremost, the reason why we must have those kind of post-budget dialogues is, one, when the budget speech is made, the minister makes headline mentions of the budget speech, and especially on the tax side, the tax policy proposals. So the forum or the post-budget dialogue is held in order to allow the public have a deep understanding of the budget, the provisions in there. But on the tax side also, we know that a number of tax policy measures are made every financial year. So we hold this dialogue to make sure that we can engage with the public, particularly to understand where is the opportunity for the public to benefit from the budget. Because if that doesn't happen, then the budget is not switched on. So it's an opportunity we use to make sure that we can switch on the budget in terms of enhancing the public's understanding of what is in there and how to benefit from such provisions.
Okay, well, today from the proceedings we could see that the public had a lot of questions.
Yes.
And where might be the majority areas in which the public is quite interested in at this point in time?
Well, they span from a wide scope. I think from the proceedings of the submissions of the panelists, first of all, to start with, I think a good number of them would like to see that there is a consistent follow-through of what the government says with what is done within that particular financial year, which I think is very good. There's also the desire for the public to see that the considerations that are made, especially for the small and medium enterprises, including the low-income earners within the lower pay thresholds, are probably reflective of the actual reality on the ground. There are issues to do with maybe raising the pay threshold from the current 235 maybe to 450 in order to be able to leave more income that the people can actually depend on given the current circumstances. There are issues to do with value chain analysis, particularly from the agriculture sector. I think the consideration is that we will need to have a coordinated approach to value chain support, including how we ourselves as government agencies, URA, URSB, UNBS, other than the technology and the equipment that may be tax exempt, how do we make sure that the process of making sure that a new startup is handheld and supported beyond the headline offers that are given, particularly to make sure that when somebody is producing the first 2 years, maybe the technology is not yet good enough. How do we make sure that as government we come through to support them such that they're able to take off? So a couple of things in there that have come through. But as you realize, again, we have a number of issues that probably they would like us to talk about for tax, which we'll probably look at tomorrow. Okay,
before we let you go, now there's this side of the expectation from the public, but yes, I believe that as the authority there's also some expectations you might have.
Yes.
And what are those when moving forward from this dialogue?
Moving forward from this dialogue as URA, first of all, tomorrow is the day when we are going to focus on the tax issues. Today the focus has really been on the economy and the fiscal side of the budget, as well as Bank of Uganda coming in to tell us about the economy and how they're supporting it. However, tomorrow we'll have a big focus on the tax side. Now, what is very important is that when the Minister of Finance makes some of these pronouncements, there are other conditions that probably never get to be known. So my appeal to the public is that tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. up to 1 p.m. on NTV Live and other televisions, please tune in and make sure that you're able to engage with us and follow us on social media, as well as call-in numbers will be available for you to call in. We would like to make sure that we can get feedback from you, even using this as the opportunity for us to start to pick issues that we can take into account as we go into the next financial year.
Okay, briefly, as we let you go yesterday, the Commissioner General told Parliament about a plan of bringing most of the informal sector into the tax bracket.
Yes.
How would this work?
Well, first of all, in making sure that we can get the informal sector into the tax bracket, first of all, simplification. We are going to do a lot of work in terms of simplification of the process. First of all, onboarding the taxpayer, right from the registration. Now, it's been a little bit more complicated for registering a taxpayer, but we are also looking at issues of leveraging the registration, the onboarding, including using your mobile app that you can only capture a few pieces of information and you're able to register from wherever you are. So simplification of the process of onboarding the taxpayer. The other one is integration of information. As you already know, URA is going to tap into other agencies to make sure that once information is available by another agency, we don't ask for it, we simply cross-match it, and then we're able to create a taxpayer profile. The other one is making sure that the conditions for complying for the small and medium taxpayers are fairly simple to fulfill, which has been done partly, for example, within the presumptive tax regime. But we are looking at making sure that even the requirement for filing and all that, those are offset. You do a one-time payment. Some effort has been done already. However, very few of them know that. So we want to make sure that we can reach out more in terms of using technology, including social media, to educate and make sure that the small and medium taxpayers can understand how they can fulfill their tax obligations.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on NTV at 1, the Assistant Commissioner General for the Public Affairs at the Assistant Commissioner for Public Affairs at the Uganda Revenue Authority, Mr. Vincent Seruma. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Well, we're now going to take a short break, but NTV at 1 continues shortly. Do stay with us.